Imagine waking up one morning looking at the horizon and deciding to see the world. You grab your passport, book a flight, and just go. No paperwork, no embassy visits, no interrogations. You're free. Now, imagine the opposite. You were born somewhere else. Your passport isn't just a travel document, it's a cage. Before you can dream of leaving, you need endless documents, proof of income, an invitation letter. And even then, there's no guarantee. You face rejection, not because of who you are, but because of where you were born. Something you had no control over. Isn't it strange that your birthplace, which you didn't choose, decides how free you are? Passports are not just pieces of paper, they are invisible walls, separating the free from the imprisoned. The Henley Passport Index shows us where people stand in this global game of freedom. And here's the brutal truth. Not all passports are created equal. Some are golden keys that open every door, others are shackles keeping millions locked in place. Singapore, with its visa-free access to 193 countries. Afghanistan with only 25. But here's the real question. Why are innocent people paying the price for borders they never drew and policies they never chose? Why are lives being shaped by this cruel twist of fate? A German citizen can wake up, book a last-minute flight to Mexico, and just go. No hassle. But an Afghan citizen, despite being well-educated and financially stable, needs to go through months of visa applications, documentation, and interviews just to enter Germany, where they might face rejection even after all that effort. They must prove their worth, fill out endless forms, attend countless interviews, and after all that, the answer is often still no. Their dream shattered, not because of anything they did, but because of where they were born. Think about it. Was being born a choice? Did anyone pick their birthplace? Yet that very fact determines so much about your future. Why does where you were born dictate how freely you can move, who you can meet, and what opportunities you can access? The truth is, for millions of people, their birthplace isn't just a location, it's their prison. And it's one they never asked for. The walls are invisible, but they are very real. And every day, millions wake up to face them. Europe's passports aren't just powerful because of economic strength. They carry the deep, painful legacy of empires that once controlled vast parts of the world. The United Kingdom, France, Portugal. They once held the world in their hands, and those citizens still reap the benefits. They were able to build powerful networks, and their passports remain as golden tickets to travel almost everywhere. Meanwhile, the nations they once ruled, places like the Democratic Republic of Congo or Afghanistan, still struggle to get a visa to the countries that once controlled them. For those nations, it's a cruel irony. They've been left behind, forgotten, and their people continue to pay for the sins of the past. Money talks, and in the world of passports, it screams. Countries with strong economies, like the United States, Germany, and Japan, don't just get free access to the world. They are the ones other countries want to welcome because their citizens bring economic power. A passport from these nations is the passport to opportunity. But what about the others? The ones who aren't rich, who don't have economic leverage? For them, the world closes its doors. It's not about what they deserve, it's about what they can offer. If your country doesn't have a high GDP, you're seen as a risk, not a resource. Imagine being denied entry not because of anything you did, but because of political decisions made by people in power. That's the reality for millions. If you're from Iran, North Korea, or Russia, your passport isn't just a document, it's a political statement. It's not a symbol of your nationality. It's a symbol of the global tensions that confine you. You can't visit family, you can't travel for work, and you're often judged before you even arrive at the border. And why? Because of where you were born. You didn't make those decisions, but you're paying the price. We've always been told that the United States is at the top. The American dream, after all, is all about opportunity, freedom, and global dominance, right? But here's the surprise. The United States isn't even in the top 5. In fact, it ranks 9th. How can this be? How can a country with so much global influence be ranked below tiny, lesser-known nations? The answer is a wake-up call. You see, passport power isn't just about military might or economic strength. It's about diplomacy, alliances, and trust. In this game, it's not enough to be a superpower. You've got to earn your freedom, one international relationship at a time. But then there's the UAE, an absolute game changer. Just 20 years ago, its passport barely ranked in the top 50. Today, it's 8th in the world. How did this happen? This wasn't about waiting for the world to give them freedom. It was about creating it. The UAE fought for its place. It built alliances, negotiated deals, and redefined what a small country can achieve. In a world where many nations feel locked in history's grip, the UAE shows us that you can change your fate, rewrite your story, and rise above the past. But at what cost? Now, let's look at Nepal and India, two neighboring countries with rich histories, deep cultures, and billions of people. Yet despite their shared geography, their passports tell a very different story. Nepal, with a passport that ranks a painful 97th, granting access to only 38 countries visa-free. India, slightly better at 82nd, but still only able to travel to 57 countries without needing a visa. What does it feel like to know that the country of your birth holds you back from the world just because of where you were born? How does it feel to look at countries you've never heard of, sitting comfortably in the rankings above you, with access to places you'll never see? Imagine the frustration of knowing that the freedom to travel, to explore, to dream, everything you've always wanted to do, is not a privilege you can easily access. For millions of people, it's not just about travel, it's about opportunity. The chance to go beyond borders and create a life that isn't confined by the limitations of a passport. So why does this matter? Why should we care about a passport ranking? Because it's not just about traveling, it's about human rights, opportunity, and dignity. The painful truth is that in the world we live in today, your passport, the document you hold, determines how free you are. It defines who you are, where you belong, and most heartbreakingly, how the world views you. When you're born in the wrong place, the walls don't just close, they lock. You don't get a choice in the matter. But every day people fight to climb, to change, and to break free from the system that traps them. And the question is, how long will we let this happen? So what can be done about this? Is there any hope for a fairer, more equal world where passports don't decide your worth or your freedom? Well, it's complicated, but there are countries working hard to change their fate. Take the UAE, for example. With aggressive diplomacy, they climbed from near the bottom to one of the most powerful passports in the world today. They've shown that with the right strategies and alliances, even a small country can shift the balance. Then there are those who have found ways to escape the system altogether. Dual citizenship and golden visas. It's a system where the rich can simply buy better passports, bypassing the struggle that millions of others face. And while this may seem like an unfair advantage, it highlights the stark difference between those who can afford the luxury of mobility and those who cannot. But what about you? What about the millions of people who don't have that privilege? The truth is, your passport isn't just a piece of paper. It's a reflection of your country's global power, a mirror of your status in the world. And for those with weaker passports, it's a constant reminder of the barriers that still exist in a world that claims to be equal. This isn't just about travel. It's about human dignity, opportunity, and the fundamental right to dream. So next time you look at your passport, think about those who don't have the same freedom. Think about the ones still waiting for their chance to break free. Think about the husband in the US who just wants to see his wife again. Think about the wife with their children in low-score countries who just wants to hold her husband and father and start their life together. If you could swap your passport today, which one would you choose? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more awesome content.